Now into the second half of the season, FC Tucson returns home looking to continue last week's unbeaten success as Forward Madison FC comes to town. Our match tonight presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. Claim what is yours and fill out the census today. I'm Chris Pekovic, happy to have you with us as we end off our Wednesday night action here in USL League One from Tucson, Arizona. Two teams in the middle of the pack in the USL League One standings, presented by Clear Channel here tonight. And two teams that really, it comes down to the wire here tonight and the rest of the way, trying to get some confidence, a streak going in the win column to maybe make a jump up to one of those top two spots as we head closer and closer to the USL League One final. Well, two players certainly that may help those efforts. One here for FC Tucson, our Body Central player to watch. It's Ellie Belton, 2 goals in the last 2 matches. And we thought he was one of the main creators for the offense. Well, he's scoring goals too. A versatile player for John Gallis and his side. He is up there, 3rd in created chances for the team, along with 2 assists overall. And now showing his versatility into the back of the net. So someone not only that is going to be on the end of free kicks, but maybe someone at the end of them to watch for here tonight. On the other side for Forward Madison FC, J.C. Banks, 1 assist, 7 appearances this season. He's your Body Central player to watch for Forward Madison. Got maybe the best chance underway for them against the Greenville Triumph, but Dallas J able to move that to the side. The key here for J.C. Banks with the midfield shift that we'll see in our lineup card shortly in the next few minutes. Maybe some more chances at the top of the box. He'll be your center attacking midfielder for the formation here tonight and could be key with these crosses in from a Don Smart or Apollo Jr. to get one into the net for Forward Madison tonight. Two teams, 11 points on the table. We'll see here tonight who can make that jump up towards the top. Tucson and Forward Madison going at it tonight here on ESPN+.
Us just what he's all about, and Danny Fuson showing exactly what. Coming in on the right side, cross straight across the box and into the back of the net.
Traveling through the night, when I woke up to my surprise, saw a sliver of big, big sky.
Welcome back here into Tucson, getting set for a matchup between FC Tucson and Forward Madison FC. Tonight's match presented by Tucson 2020 Census. Claim what is yours and fill out the census today. Now let's take a look at how Tucson lines up for John Gallis here tonight. A few changes out there. Their leading goal scorer not in there. Shaq Adams out with a training knock, is what it's being called, as Charlie Dennis, unfortunately, retroactive suspension to the incident with Edwin Sorrell of North Texas from a week ago. We see Ellie Belton in there in the midfield, along with Ramon Howe making his 2nd start of the season. Josh Cohen on the wing making his 4th start, along with Esteban Calvo. He'll be on that right side as well. Let's take a look at our starting 11 for Forward Madison FC under Daryl Shore here tonight. Eric Leonard and Ovalle in there as holding midfielders together for the first time this season. As J.C. Banks will take a step up the field, maybe to see some action. 5 goals last season. See if we can find one tonight up there with Wojciech on his runs. Paulo Jr. and Don Smart, Daryl Short telling us he expects a big night for them, maybe trying to get around Tucson as they counter. Two teams that love to counter each other, and it should be a great and festive battle up and down the field here in Tucson this evening. Both their starting lineups presented by the City of Tucson Census 2020. Claim what is yours. Looking down upon Keno North Stadium, let's check out our Chapman Auto Group keys to the game. Find out how you can make the most of this home field advantage. Visit ChapmanTucson.com. For Tucson, the early success is the key. 9 of their 13 goals this season have come in the first half, including 4 in the first 15 minutes. So getting off to that solid start, of course, and knocking in those chances, key to their success. While for Madison, the counter response is something that Daryl Short keyed in on for us, being quick to hop in on the counter themselves as they go up against this Tucson counter. And our injury report presented by Body Central. Out, we mentioned Shaq Adams for Tucson, and Brandon Eaton, unfortunately, still out for Fort Madison, the midfielder out there for the Flamingos. Both coaches laid it out to us pretty well, keying in on the counter-attacking nature of either side. The outside backs liking to launch up the field. Should be a fun one, to say the least, here in Tucson, Arizona tonight. Opening whistle, and we're off and running. Forward Madison FC Tucson here to end out your Wednesday night in USL League One. Again, I'm Chris Makoviak, happy to have you with us as we work into our second matchup of the day. Richmond taking down Fort Lauderdale earlier this evening, 2-1, with Terzaghi adding 2 to his count in the Golden Boot race. These two teams in front of us, 11 points overall. The one similarity between Forward Madison and Richmond, two teams that have played the fewest matches overall in USL League One, with just 8 apiece. So a lot of opportunity to climb up the table in a short amount of time. Matches up against each other in the schedule, but if they can get results compounded on each other, they could be talking about a second or first place finish here in USL League One. Tucson on the other side, positive really from last week, 2 consecutive results. That hasn't happened this season, funny enough, under John Gallis in this 2020 season. 4 points from the 2 matches. The 1-0 victory Wednesday night a week ago today over New England 2, and then getting the draw on the road against North Texas last Saturday, a tough one as they gave up that goal in the second half to a 10-man North Texas side. Eric Quill and the defending champions coming out like lightning in the second half. You wouldn't have thought that they were down a man on the field, and it was Nicky Hernandez able to bag the goal from outside the box. And now Tucson, they return home, 2 matches this week. They face Fort Lauderdale Saturday night after this one. So a chance to continue that brief run, and all you need is a few results in a row, and you can climb right up that table. That's what they're hoping for now with 6 matches remaining, including tonight, on their season. The positive for Forward Madison, they have their center back duo back out there tonight, Connor Tobin and Zai Trimmingham, both unavailable for selection in the loss to Greenville, a loss that happened about a week and a half ago. Madison just training for the past week or so, eager to get back out on the pitch. It was Eric Leonard and Gustavo Fernandez that were the back 2 in there for the back line. Pato Diaz and Giro were in there. There's Logue down the far flank. He's the captain once again for Tucson. Liotti, a nice back heel. Silva over to Ellie Belton. He scores just like that. Tucson leads here at home. Ellie Belton, the Brazilian, take a bow. 3 goals in 3 matches. In the 3rd minute, he strikes again. That's the 5th goal this season, the first 15 minutes for FC Tucson. Silva setting it up, and then putting it in is Ellie Belton. A nice look from the top of the box. That goal presented by Ellie Belton and Cicciaro. What a start for Tucson. You take away their leading goal scorer and their leader in created chances this season. They find one anyway. And it's Ellie Belton, the midfielder. This one back to him all night. Ellie Belton drawing a lot of praise this week in her call with John Gallis on loan from Cascavel in his native Brazil, and actually comes to Tucson through a connection that John Gallis had with an agent that he knew from his days as a grad student at the University of Liverpool in the late 90s. One of those players that came in connection with him was Ellie Belton. After that talk, they were looking for a left back specifically, but Ellie Belton, if you've watched them at all this season, you know he could play in multiple spots of the field. Gallis even telling us that with Shaq Adams out, they were thinking about using him on the wing, but unfortunately didn't have an opportunity to take a look at that in training this week. So he is in the central midfield. Josh Cohen out wide. We talked about it in the open, though. He's scoring goals in bunches now after he was the main creator for this offense so far this season. Charlie Dennis, of course, taking honors for that the last few matches. They've combined on free kicks, and now Ellie Belton taking over tonight, scoring on the assist from Silva. Now Paulo Jr. looks to respond. Forward cheek is there, but it's knocked out of play, and it is a corner kick for the away side. Madison looking to respond in the 5th minute. Vucic in there inside the box, tried maybe a little cheeky back heel. Couldn't get into the net though. A player that had a great opportunity against Greenville a week and a half ago. Doorstep opportunity for a header, but it went off target. A shot that Daryl Shore said that his striker would make 9 times out of 10, so they're looking for big things from him tonight potentially to get back on the scoring card. It's 3 goals so far this season, tied for the team lead. As we do have a talking to our head official for tonight's action, Alan Martinez Loyola. As J.C. Banks, our body central player to watch for Madison, stands over this 1-1 assist this season. Banks slides into this one, backside of the box. Trimmingham heads it over. Now Ellie Belton, he'll help it along. Another corner kick to come. As Banks heads over to take that, the Milwaukee native. They're on the team and created chances this season with 6. With Ovalle now part of the starting 11 and even coming off the bench so far in the last couple of matches. He's been able to step higher up in the midfield. Maybe will contribute to the offense just a bit more here tonight. Back post and over everyone. Racing for it is Giro. And out of play. This ball will go over to FC Tucson. Calvo over the ball. We've seen both Calvo and Allercone at this right back spot today. Allercone will be coming off the bench, it seems. Another dynamic player just like Ellie Belton on the wing this season. We saw him at right back against North Texas last Saturday. Now it's Calvo, more of a stay-at-home right back so far this season. Gallis telling us last week they're encouraging him to make some more runs forward, but definitely a move that may be working opposite of Apollo Jr. and Giro on this near side. Keep them under taps as we head deeper into the night. Tommy Silva sends us out of play. A bit of a haircut out there for the youngster. UCLA commit. Be spending this season with FC Tucson though. Ball lofted in, good opportunity. Calvo's there with a brief clearance. Leonard wanted a brilliant volley. It's a goal kick instead. It's them all night. The Jamaican international in between the pipes again for FC Tucson, excuse me. The hot hands out there, 2 starts in the last 2. John Gallis feeling it was time for a change in between the pipes just to test things out. He rotated the midfield, trying to get some new results. So he thought it was fair to rotate the keepers. First night on loan from San Diego Loyal SC this season. 8 caps for the Jamaican national team in his career. Now Paulo Jr. down the left side. Paulo cutting it back. Don Smart, no, it's cleared. Paulo Jr., another Brazilian on the field tonight. Hal trying a howler, to say the least, from outside, but deflected away. We have a corner kick here for FC Tucson. All corner kicks tonight presented by the City of Tucson Census 2020. Claim what is yours. Already the goal for Tucson. Daryl Short telling us this week that Tucson definitely threatening on the set pieces. We've seen that in their last few matches. Instead of Ellie Belton being on the end of one, this time he'll be taking it. The service in. Headed away at the near post by Trimmingham. Now Bergen, above 95% in his passing accuracy the last 3 matches. He has been one of the brilliant spots you do not see on the score sheet lately for FC Tucson. He's a midfielder. A lot of those passes in the opposing half as well. He was at 100% accuracy against North Texas 2 Saturdays ago. Unfortunately, a 2-0 loss to North Texas for this Tucson side. Foul is called on Godoy, the former Orange County forward. Of course, the captain, Tobin, back out there. Missed the match against Greenville for what was called personal reasons. Daryl Short telling us that they knew they would be without their captain for that match all week. The real killer was when Josiah Trimmingham was announced to be out the day before, and that's when they had to try to quickly work that Leonard and Fernandez back pairing in training the day before. He said it's definitely something you always feel when your captain isn't out there with the vocal leadership. He said really it wasn't misorganization against Greenville, it was more about the miscommunication on a few key parts of the game that contributed to the loss. Because of that, Leonard taken out of the holding midfield slot he usually occupies. Valle got his first start with forward Madison in that match. So we have the throw in on the far side. Tommy Silva, the Tucson native. 3rd on the team in clearances, blocks, and interceptions. Again, another great young talent here in USL League One. Paulo Jr. can't get it over the top. There's Beek back in that backline pairing with Logue after missing a good portion of the season. Good interception there by Vucic. Smart blocked there by Logue. It's out of play. Madison, not a team this season that generates a ton of chances. 10th in the league in shots per game and shots on target per game, but they are accurate when they do generate those chances. 1st in the league in shot percentage at just over 20%. 2nd overall, of course, as well in goals per game at 1.63. They've been solid paired with their defense. The problem is results right now against the top 4 in the league. They're 0-2-2 in their matchup so far this season with the current top 4. Just 2 points, of course, out of that bunch. Scoring big in matches against Orlando City B, Tormenta, and New England 2. Hope is to turn things around the second half of the campaign starting tonight. We'll still see Union Omaha once this season, and the Chattanooga Red Wolves twice still. They'll see Jimmy Obleda's side Saturday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Another team that likes to launch the outside backs way forward up the field. Just like Tucson, that's been Madison's forte so far here in 2020. Not only Giro and Pato Diaz on the field, but then Eli Lockaby on the bench to offer that attribute. The German Beak stepping up, intercepted by Leonard. Right now, Tucson, they can't break out of the back, really. Ellie Belton offering something here. Great ball, over, and cleared by Marchetta. Saw the referee put his whistle to his mouth. Offsides, well timed by the Madison back line. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Saw John Gallis there, the former Tucson assistant, now head coach in 2020. He's been very happy with the performances at times, but just not getting the results. Of course, trying to get a run going after going unbeaten last week in their 2 matches, 4 points. Daryl Shore showing his displeasure with the proceedings in front of him. Longtime Major League Soccer assistant coach. Of course, in his 2nd year, overseeing Madison. Scooping it to left side. Here's the former RSL man, Paulo Jr. Giro. Either side able to get the victory tonight. They would move into sole possession of 5th in the League One table. Paulo Jr. lofts it to the right side. Building ahead is Diaz. Diaz trying to get around Silva. He will do that. Scoops it in. No one there at the back post. It's out of play for a Tucson throw-in. Diaz so far, 14 clearances this season, leads the team in interceptions with 24. Here comes that counter from Tucson, but a good stop by the captain, Connor Tobin. Tobin leading Madison this season in clearances and blocks. Here's the Toronto FC2 loanee, Ovalle. Giro, good move there. Back to Ovalle. Slots it on through, Don Smart. Here's Banks, tripped up in the box, no call. We play on. Giro to the wing. Back to Paulo Jr. Scoops it in their back post. Knocked away. Banks can't get on it. Still with it though. Banks upended. Now Smart. Had a play and a goal kick. What a service in there from Paulo Jr. And it was Vucic almost on the end of it. But what a great stop by the center back. I believe it was Logue in there. Let's take another look. Oh yes, it was Logue. A brilliant touch by the center back to work it away. A replays tonight presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. Claim what is yours. That's what we expected from Banks tonight. More up the middle of the offense, able to get those opportunities. Maybe trying to find his first goal of 2020. We have a foul on the collision. Liotti and Leonard meeting there. Liotti trying to work something off here. 3 goals, 1 assist for him, the Michigan native.
Correct.
Liotti spending 3 years with Saginaw Valley State in Division II. Georgia Southern, most recently. Paulo Jr. Back down by Eric Vergen. Now it falls to Leonard. We'll test the near side once again. Giro into the box, keeps his run alive. Giro over to Vucic, but back off of the left back, and it looks like it would have been offsides anyway. Madison is finding that combo play, just unable to get the shot on target just yet. Looking at the City of Tucson Census 2020 replay. And it looks like instead it was cleared by Logue. Having quite the match so far. And that's the stat to keep an eye on with Madison this season. Shots on target in a match. When they have 4 or more shots on target this season, they have their 3 victories. When they have 3 or below in that count, fortunately no wins this year. 4 shots on target against Orlando, 5 against Tormenta, and 9 at New England 2 in that 4-0 victory. Paulo Jr. lays it in there. Ovalle upended. And a good stop in the end by Beek. It's going to be a throw-in for Madison. Leonard will reset. Madison 1-3-1 on the road this season. Tucson 1-2-1 at home. They only win at home a week ago today. They're in a current stretch of 5 matches in a 15-day period. Final one being Saturday against Fort Lauderdale here at Keno North Stadium. Paulo Jr. scoops it to the right side. Banks there, heads it on, but Knight takes it in. Looking for that combo with Vucic. Let's take a look at the replay on this one. Banks almost finding the opportunity. Good thought, but unable to complete it. Calvo will take the throw in. Costa Rican right back, leading Tucson in interceptions this year. Spent his college days at FIU and the University of Portland. Back here with Trimmingham, the Trinidad and Tobago international. Cohen dragged down from behind, and it's Fito Ovalle that was called for the foul. We'll see if this is a talking to or anything more. Ovalle, the native of Chile, 23 years old. 1 goal, 22 appearances last year for Toronto FC2. This club, due to the current pandemic, unable to participate in this League One season. They'll be back next year. It will be loaned over to Daryl Shore's squad. Daryl Shore telling us a few weeks ago his praise for Ovalle. He's a young player, but definitely experienced, working behind Michael Bradley in that Toronto organization. Already contributing, starting here tonight. Press coming up for forward Madison as Tucson takes it around the back. Tucson, this is their trouble spot defensively this season. They're 7th in League One, giving up 1.4 goals per game. Vucic is down still as the attack goes on for Madison. Smart over, Paulo Jr. can't get there in time. Sam Beek in the area, it's a corner kick for forward Madison. First, we'll have to check on Vucic. What an opportunity for the King from Kingston. Tackled away by Vergen, the attack continued, Banks to Smart. Look at that clearance by Beek. It would have been an easy knock-in for Paulo Jr. Madison so far 4 shots this evening, yet to find one on target here 24 minutes on. Ball in, headed right at Knight. Perfect opportunity for Tobin, but it's right at the keeper. The captain nearly finds the equalizer. Banks with the corner, and the save by Knight. Anywhere else, and that's surely a goal. Pressure from Liotti. Now Madison, they love having this four back out there. We talked to Daryl Shore, his ideal back line. It is these four: Tobin, Trimmingham, Giro, and Diaz. This back four in their 5 matches together this season, 2-1-2, 8 points, and all 3 clean sheets from Madison that the team has had so far this year. Speaks wonders for a team. The .88 GAA overall, they're second overall in League One, just behind the Triumph. Giro gets that knocked back. Banks goes down and cleared by Beek. Also, over the course of 5 appearances as a back line, 2 goals allowed. That's it for this back pairing. Fans, stay up to date on all things FC Tucson by following @FC Tucson on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Look for our app in the App Store and Google Play to access exclusive content. Now Banks stepping up, fires from deep, and a save in the end by Knight. Testing the Jamaican keeper. Banks very active early on this evening. Play on the near side. So far this season for Madison, yet to find a result when they concede first. They're 0-3-0. Tucson, on the other hand, they do have a comeback win this season against Fort Lauderdale. Luckily, they are on the scoring side this time around. 2-0-2, undefeated this year when they are scoring first in a match. Ellie Belton getting credit for that one early on. Now Leonard. Diaz will take it around. Tobin stepping all the way up. Now Ovalle. Another product of the Real Salt Lake system. Now Giro, working off of Cohen. Good run by Banks, great service, and Paulo Jr. Banks back over, no one there at the top of the box. Maybe just a slight miscommunication with Fuchik there. What a great build-up though from Banks and Paulo Jr. John Gallis said to us, praising Madison, they do not generate a ton of chances, but they find those little spaces in there to exploit the opposition. Silva looking down the field. He is on the run against Liotti. The forward nearly getting there, now Trimmingham. Offsides flag is up on the far side. It's back over to Tucson. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for FC Tucson or forward Madison, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on your team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. This ball out of play. It's back over to Madison. Off of Cohen, out of play, and we're right back where we started as we approach our first half hydration break. Tucson, they'll have opportunities here at home to make a run on the table. 4 of their final 6 matches, including this one today, are at home. Now Liotti spins off of this. Taken down by Tobin, but a good tackle in there from the captain. A throw-in in the final third for Tucson. It's Calvo to take it. Good combo play. Works it in there, diving header in the end by Diaz. And they'll reset at the top. Header by Tobin. Hal to Silva. Calvo, service in. Head away by Trimmingham. Logue steps up. Off the post. What a shot by Logue. Knocked on through off of Ellie Belton. What an opportunity from the center back. Trying to find the goal of the week honors with that one. Let's take another look on the City of Tucson Census 2020 replay. Wow, ringing off of the post there. A full-out dive by Marchetta, but we stand still 1-0. The 3rd minute tally by Ellie Belton, the assist from Silva as we hit the 32nd minute. Well, we like to welcome everyone in, tuning in over at El Toro Flicks Carpool Cinema, the Cactus Pricks, and all the FC Tucson supporters enjoying Southern Arizona Heritage Night. Of course, along with it, ballet, folklorico, and mariachi from the students of Sunnyside High School. At halftime, fans will participate in a Grito contest. The winner of tonight's Grito contest will win a set of 2021 season tickets and a signed jersey. So we saw that with the hot dog eating contest back on September 5th. Season tickets on the line. They're on the line again tonight. So always look ahead at this schedule and see where you can come and have some fun at the drive-in watch party. Head over to fctucson.com/tickets. And coming up Saturday, Fort Lauderdale in town, youth soccer night and the ball giveaway at the drive-in watch party. So get your tickets now. So far, so good for the fans at the drive-in watch party tuning in. 1-0. Ellie Belton, their goal in 3 matches. I don't know what it is about scoring streaks on this team. Shaq Adams had 4 and 4. Ellie Belton 3 and 3. So credit to Tommy Silva as well, getting his first assist as a member of FC Tucson. Madison chasing it down the field. Diaz on the run, lays it in. Fucci couldn't get there. Again, Beak comes up with the toe poke. Ellie Belton coming all the way back. Taken down by Fito. A good stop by the holding midfielder. Now Don Smart. Diaz to Smart. Good run by Diaz. Can he get there in time? He does. Scoops it over to Logue. And at least a corner kick for Madison. Appeals for a handball, but this will be a corner for the away side. Their fourth so far this evening. Diaz, first team All-League a year ago, and causing havoc in there. Yet another run in behind the back line of Tucson as Banks and Madison look for the equalizer. It'll be the grad out of the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, standing over the ball. Lofted in there. Up and over the bar. What's the call? Another corner kick to Madison. Bunch of heads in there. Looked like Calvo got the final touch on the clearance. Now Banks. Lofts it in there, headed away by Logue. Set pieces, an area that Daryl Shore and the Flamingos saw a vulnerability for FC Tucson. Something they've been working on in training. Now Giro. Smart. Works it back in there. Trimmingham still up with the attack, spins and fires. Third save of the match for Knight. Madison certainly finding their opportunities so far. 7 shots, 3 on target. Now Hal. Jamaican midfielder going through traffic, and a foul is called against the Tucson man. And it's back over to Madison, moving quickly. Ramon Hal, previously with Nashville and Des Moines Menace in USL League, 3 goals and 19 appearances for Midwestern side. 1 goal, 12 appearances with Tucson last year. 8 appearances, just making his second start of the campaign. It's one of those positions in the central midfield that has really been log-jammed with a lot of faces. Raheem Summersall was in there among the 3 for a good chunk of the season. He's been on the bench for the last few, trying to get back in there. Jordan Pena, someone we may see make his debut for Tucson here tonight. A throw-in for Madison. And of course, Ellie Belton with his versatility, he's worked his way in there. Manu Ferriol may find an opportunity as well. He's had considerable minutes coming off the bench so far after coming over from Spain in the last few weeks. Now Paulo Jr. fires the bender, curves, and a touch, it seems, by Knight. And it is a corner kick for Madison. It was going wide, it seems, but a short touch in the end from the keeper. 14 saves so far this year for Knight. Oh, maybe that was on target. Yes, a save to the side by Knight. It's his 4th overall. Pack just outside the frame of goal. The blue and the black all in there. Lofted in there, Trimmingham heads it up, still alive. Knight grabs it out of the air, trying to spur the attack on. We've seen a goalkeeping assist already for Tucson this year. Morancio onto the run of Shaq Adams a few matches ago. Avaye. Banks spins. Banks fires in there, another save tonight. The problem so far from Madison, most of their shots going directly at the keeper in the center of goal. Banks there finds a 5th shot on target already for Madison early on. Back all the way to Marchetta, who's had a quiet first half, other than that goal allowed in the 3rd minute. Here's Tobin. Once again, it's Diaz wide open, making a run down the right flank. It looks like he got that deflection And it's another corner kick for Madison, make it number 7 already here tonight. Their match high so far this season is 9 corner kicks. That was in the last match a week and a half ago at Greenville. It's Banks once again with the opportunity. No one there at the backside of the box. Got too much under that one. Now Smart trying to put some pressure in. He does just that. 8 goals, 5 assists last year. He led Madison in goals scored. He's won so far in his 2020 campaign, but he does lead the side in assists with 3. Vucic fires on the turn. Knight parries it aside. Quite the night so far for him all night. Now Trimmingham, he thought about it from deep. Still trying to get through the traffic. Lofts it over. Polo Jr. knocks it down. It's in off the post. Madison finds their equalizer 40 minutes in. And it's the Brazilian forward. Paulo Jr., his 2nd of the season. And how about Trimmingham, the center back with the assist. Great service in as he stayed up with the play off the corner kick. Great response in there by forward Madison. We're all equal here 5 minutes before the break. Diaz and Madison right back on the ball. Kind of expecting more of a transition battle for either side, but it's been all possession, whether one side or the other. Right now, it's still Madison in possession. We've had it for quite a while last few minutes. Right now, enjoying 61% of the possession out there. It's 39% for Tucson. The foul is called. This will be brought back as Hal went down. Here's Calvo. So far, the connection just hasn't always been there between the back line and the service over the top to the front line of Tucson. Something John Gallis mentioned to us, a very versatile team in Madison that's able to give you multiple looks, multiple formations, and able to bunker in if they are having the desire to in order to get a result. Madison able to really limit the chances of their opponents this season. They're 4th in League One in shots per game allowed and shots on target allowed per game. Under 4 on average on target. Ball back over tonight. Away from a 1-1 scoreline is having a fantastic match. Ball over the top, miscommunication. Over the top, Diaz, cleared by Silva. It is a corner kick, it seems, for Madison, make it number 8 on the evening. 1 away from tying their match high this season. Banks back over the ball, making his 8th start on the campaign. Lofts it in. Cleared away by Beek briefly. Now Giro on the run towards the end line. Giro over at the near post. Another corner kick, and there's the match high, the tie for it for Madison. 2 consecutive matches with 9 corner kicks. In this match today, though, they find the goal in the first half. It will be Banks at the corner flag once again. Service into the middle of the box. Vucic there, turns and blocked by Ellie Belton. Another block by Beek. Tobin the header. Vucic in there. It's knocked over. Goal kick to Tucson. The amount of chances just incredible for Madison in this first half. 2 blocks consecutively there for Tucson. Had to make another as well. Beek having quite the match so far, as it's a goal kick for Knight. 2 minutes of stoppage time here from Keno North Stadium as that foul comes. That stoppage time presented by Right Shore. Foul is called. Madison an opportunity to maybe take the lead into the half. It's Banks taking the set piece quickly. Giro. Hal Jr., the goal scorer for Madison a few minutes ago, will test out the right flank. And Logue will clear this down the field. Hal making that long trek. Lofted out of play. Now Tucson an opportunity. Tucson this season, 3rd in League One in shots per game. The problem is the quality of shot overall. Only 4.1 shots on target per game. Out of play. Back to forward Madison. Whereas all these shot statistics do not include block shots this season. Well, we've seen plenty of block shots so far tonight. 4, in fact, for Tucson. Vito Valle on the run to Giro. Can't find Paulo Jr. A stop by Cohen. Banks gets the touch out of play. And there is the halftime whistle. Bookends to our first half. First, it was Ellie Belton, and then equalizing was Paulo Jr. on the assist from Trimmingham. Back and forth, lots of offense in front of us. How about Madison? 17 shots, 8 on target as we hit the break. We're gonna set some records tonight, folks. Stay tuned for the second half. We're all equal, and things certainly can change as we hit the second 45. Coming up, we'll have our halftime report presented by Right Shore, as we'll take a look at news and notes from around USL League One. Stay with us as we continue coverage here from Tucson. 1-1 at the break between FC Tucson and Forward Madison FC. Which team will climb tonight into 5th place on the League One table?
El hacerte contar en el censo es tu poder para exigir lo que es tuyo. Es tu representación política y significa hasta $30,000 en fondos por persona. Piensa en lo rápido que esta pérdida se puede acumular si no te haces contar. Tómate 5 minutos y exige lo que es tuyo.
Si tienes que salir de casa, practica el distanciamiento físico. Puedes tener el virus sin saberlo. Haz tu parte en reducir la propagación del COVID-19. Sé inteligente. Apártate de la gente. Para más información, visita pima.gov/COVID-19 ESP. No todos los superhéroes usan capa. Ahora usan cubrebocas. Para frenar la propagación del COVID-19, usa una cobertura facial si tienes que salir de casa. Es para la protección de todos. Para más información, visita pima.gov/COVID-19 ESP.
Life is full of chores, but shopping for your next With My Chapman, you can customize add-ons, find out your trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment, and even have that new ride delivered right to your front door. Visit us today at ChapmanTucson.com.
Lately, we've all faced difficult choices. We sacrifice. We choose to stay home, to connect, not to be stuck in our fears. And when we choose each other, life gets better. We choose to be here when you need us, to support you during hard times. We choose strength and hope. We choose you.
Welcome back here into Tucson. Halftime between Ford Madison and FC Tucson as we begin our halftime report. Sponsored by Right Shore. Using advanced technology, you can shop rates online with over 40 different insurance companies in less than 60 seconds. Visit rightshore.com today to get your free quote. Well, we've hit about the halfway point of the season. Let's check out our goals of the week for the first half of the campaign and a few great goals for us. Well, week one, it was one matchup for us back on July 18th. Alex Morrell and Greenville getting the victory on the road over Fort Lauderdale, and that service from Aaron Walker setting up Morrell for his first goal for the Greenville Triumph, and for the second time scoring the first goal for League One overall in a season for that man. Terzaghi, he's the Golden Boot leader as we continue on into the night. He got week two honors. Neil Vignals, a brace on the day, featured by this goal from far out outside the box against Orlando City B. What a cannon that was for the holding mid out of South Georgia Tormenta FC. Well, we stay in the same park, but the opposing team this time, Ricky Lopez Espin up there in the Golden Boot race. Well, that was his finish maybe of the year over Pablo Jara. Watch that float on in. Great awareness from the former Lansing Ignite forward as he claimed week 4 honors. Hopping over to City Stadium and the Richmond Kickers, the defender getting the honors in week 5, McGall Hayes, former Houston Dynamo product, getting his honors there in the back of the net. Then Edwin Cirillo, the FC Dallas player, over playing with North Texas SC, that cannon, getting week 6 honors. Probably the best week of nominees was week 6. Check them out if you haven't had a chance, with a few bangers out there. Devin Boyce using the players in front of him to his advantage and sliding that on by past Carlos Marancio. The keeper not able to see this well, and the little cheeky flick on enough there for the week 7 honors for Devin Boyce. Up to Gillette Stadium, Ovalle in his first appearance for Forward Madison. Oh, what a cannon there. The Toronto FC 2 loanee over to Madison, getting the week 8 honors. And then over to Inter Miami CF Stadium, Ascona, the no-look bend right here. What a goal for the youngster. One of the great young products emerging here in USL League One, as he was able to notch this one for an early goal against Orlando City B. Those are our top honors so far in the first 9 weeks. We'll see who gets goal of the week honors in our following weeks. Coming up next, more highlights and action from around the USL.
Oakland, the town.
A world-class city where it's not just about where you're going,
But it's also where you come from. See, here, there's always room at the top.
where sky's the limit.
But roots help keep you grounded. And this is town business. If you know, you know. Some might say it's rough around the edges.
But we all know that the flavors are in the margins. It's a family affair out here.
It's all eyes on we.
Hold it down for the people holding you up. These things matter to us.
It is Let's Go Oakland over and over and over again, where East Oakland and West Oakland meet.
Show the town love.
And the town will love you back. Oakland, forever.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Welcome back here into Tucson as we continue our Right Shore halftime report with USL League One news and notes. 1-1 at the break between FC Tucson and forward Madison. Well, we had quite the battle. 1-0 on the scoreline, but that doesn't really meet the quality of the battle between Chattanooga and Greenville that we had last Saturday. 1-0 win for Greenville. They extend their lead at the top to 7 points over the rest of the pack. Tormenta, another comeback victory, and part of that, Curtis Thorne getting the goal and an assist against Fort Lauderdale last Saturday. He's your player of the week here in USL League One. Taking a look at our Clear Channel scoreboard. Already one match in the book here tonight. 2-1 for the Richmond Kickers. The Golden Boot race members going at it in Ricky Lopez-Espin and Emiliano Terzaghi. Of course, a brace for Terzaghi. 2-1 victory for Richmond, as well as those other scores from last Saturday. Quite the slate we had. Greenville extending their lead at the top, while, of course, Richmond now hot on their heels trying to get up the table, having only 8 matches played so far this season. Well, coming up, we'll have highlights and stats from Keno North Stadium as we continue our Right Shore halftime report. Coming up next, we'll have those for you.
Are you ready to take back control? It starts with a choice. Don't blame the system for their greed, for treating you like a number and not a person, because you have the power to do something about it. Don't make them too big to fail. Make your future too strong to fail. Put your money where your values lie, and take back control.
Hello, my name is Bobby Graxton and I'm the head athletic trainer for FC Tucson. During this time, we're doing all that we can to protect our athletes, including weekly COVID testing. The tests that we use from Microgen DX are quick, easy, painless, and accurate, and we typically receive the results within 2 days from shipping. For valid, reliable, and quick results, please visit microgendx.com.
We're back here at the Keno North Stadium. 1-1 at the break between Tucson and Madison as we finish off our Right Shore halftime report with our highlights presented by the City of Tucson Census 2020. Claim what is yours. Well, we started off early as it was Silva and the offense of Tucson running down the sideline, getting the help of Liotti along the way. Ellie Belton top of the box, and Ellie Belton into the net. His third in 3 matches for the Brazilian midfielder. And what a great start for FC Tucson here at home. Well, it was Madison, though, that was the story the rest of the way with their opportunities in this first half. Amal Knight has had to come up huge on a couple of occasions, lining up the save count. Here it was Connor Tobin, the center back, getting one on frame off of the corner kick. 9 corner kicks for Madison in that first half. But then it was Logue trying to get a second for Tucson off the post. That would have been goal of the week for USL League One, but instead denied by the woodwork. Then it was Madison once again with their pressure up the field. Paulo Jr. in there, and maybe foreshadowing what was to come, a great opportunity at the back post served up by the forward. Then it would come the equalizer finally before Madison, and hey, there's Trimmingham on the wing. Look at this service. Paulo Jr. in there with the header on frame and in off the post. And that means it's all equal now in Tucson, Arizona, setting up for a fantastic second half to come between these two sides in the middle of the League One table. Boy, look at those shots. 17, 8 on target for Fort Madison. We mentioned it. They have wins in every match this season. They notch 4 or more shots on target. For Tucson, 1 shot on target, and it is that goal. They had that shot off the post, but that was all in terms of chances beyond that early goal. So we'll see if John Gallis and his crew can muster maybe a new tactical approach here in the second half to get some chances going. Well, let's check out our upcoming schedule for FC Tucson. Their road ahead. They're back at home on Friday against Fort Lauderdale. This presented by Sheridan of Tucson. Tucson taking care of visiting teams when they come to play. Their passion and fanhood belong to FC Tucson. 2 matches on the road, and then they finish up the season back at home against Greenville and then Orlando City B. Tucson actually will be the League One team not in action the final weekend due to our odd number of teams at 11. So they'll have to wait in the clubhouse as they wait maybe making the playoffs at the end of the season, or I should say the League One final. On the other side for forward Madison, a nice homestand coming their way. 3 matches for them, including their meeting with the Chattanooga Red Wolves coming up on Saturday. That'll be a 1 p.m. Central Time start for those in the state of Wisconsin, and looking to start a key run here after they were off for a week and a half following that loss to Greenville previous Sunday. Second half about to get underway here from Tucson, Arizona. Our head official, Alan Martinez Loyola. So far, we expected an up and down battle on the field. It's been the opposite of that. Really, the possession game of Madison has taken this match over, maybe setting some records in terms of opportunities as well. It's going to be an exciting second 45 to say the least. And when we talked to Daryl Shore this week about his preparation for the match, a lot of training in there and long days for Madison putting the work in. He said it's been a focus on quality following that loss to Greenville. He thought that they needed to be sharper all across the field, up and down, positionally throughout the squad. And he said that he felt really that the team let themselves down at Greenville, and they were defensively poor on both those goals allowed. They had their opportunities but didn't find the net when they needed to. They have so far. Keep in mind, they do have 8 shots on target, just the 1 goal to show for it. They will surely be looking to notch some more into the net in this second half. Vucic, a few chances in that first half. He'll be looked upon to maybe get some goal scoring going. He had his 3rd tally of the season in the 4-0 win over New England 2 a few weeks ago.
Jason, let's go.
Of course, like to welcome in all of the fans tuning in over at the Drive and Watch Party for FC Tucson at El Toro Flicks Carpool Cinema. Again, it is Southern Arizona Heritage Night. That's the theme tonight, but of course, plenty on down the line, as we will have the youth soccer night along with a soccer ball giveaway coming up Saturday night in the match against Fort Lauderdale, and of course, more opportunities to get involved for the home matches coming up against Greenville and Orlando City B. Head over to fctucson.com/tickets to get involved today. Always a great scene over at the watch party. Had a road watch party as well at Maracana for the match against North Texas last weekend. That was quite the match, to say the least. Tucson getting on the board in the first half, but only getting a point out of it as North Texas was able to come back. Let's check out our Clear Channel USL League One standings. And the Richmond Kickers getting a big opportunity today to get 3 points. They move up to 3rd place, jumping Omaha as they are now on 9 matches played at 17 points. So the winner of this one and that 11-point group in the middle of the standings, they would get sole possession of 5th place if they do get the 3 points today, jumping over Tormenta. And the key thing to remember, Madison and Tucson may be equal on points, but point per game is the difference between the two. Madison, they are 5th overall among League One teams in points per game. Tucson, they are 9th, even though both sides are tied for 6th on the table. So time dwindling in the season for Tucson, while Madison, they have those 2 extra matches over Tucson to jump up in the table. Right now, it seems like a 4-team gap is forming at the top of the table for a race at 2 spots in the League One final. Well, Madison, they surely want to have their say, still with half of their season remaining, including tonight. We'll see if they can find that victory on the road in the second half. We're off and running with the whistle here at Keno North Stadium. 1-1 at the break between Madison and Tucson. Again, I'm Chris McCovic, happy to be with you, finishing off your Wednesday night in USL League One. Tucson, of course, unbeaten in their last 2, trying to get a run of their own going for the final stretch of 2020. And we get the win over New England 2 and the draw with North Texas last time out. No changes at the half for either side. Again, no Charlie Dennis, no Shaq Adams for Tucson tonight. The leading goal scorer and the leading assist creator, and of course a creator in chances as well, and Charlie Dennis out due to the suspension from the incident with Edwin Cirillo. Cirillo ended up getting a 2-match suspension after being sent off against Tucson in their matchup with North Texas last weekend. Now Godoy. Here's Silva. Silva, service in. Cleared by Trimmingham. Best chances of that first half for Tucson. It was early on, of course, Ellie Belton with the goal. And then Logue from far out with the cannon off the post. Outside of that, not much troubling Marchetta, frankly. It'll be key for Tucson to get a bit more possession as we go deeper and deeper into the second half. Trimmingham with the clearance downfield. He had the assist on the goal from Paulo Jr., his first of the season. Offsides flag up on Silva as it's back over to Madison. At Tucson, their goal scoring, their spread of now their 14 goals, quite interesting to say the least for them this season. 9 goals, they'll make it 10 now after tonight in the first half of the campaign. Their other 4 in the final 15 minutes of matches this season. That leaves that open gap of the first 30 minutes of the second half. They do not have a goal in that section this season. So we'll see if they can break that streak at this moment. Now Diaz. Smart. Want the handball, nothing there. Get Michael Vang an option on the bench today for forward Madison. It would be his first time coming off the bench for Madison. He started all 5 matches he's been involved in. But today in the midfield, it's Leonard and Ovalle, those holding midfield spots with, Banks right above them. Smart and Paulo Jr. on the wings, and of course, Vucic up top. I'm all night back between the pipes for yet another match under John Gallis. On the bench for the most recent edition of the Gold Cup. for his native country of Jamaica. Now 26 years old. Tobin all the way back. Marchetta clears it downfield. Knight with a total of 7 saves in that first half. Just incredible. That's 50% of the total he had coming in his previous 4 starts. Now up to 21 on the season. That's how much he's had to bunker in against this Madison offense. Put up 17 shots, 8 on target in the first half, with 9 corner kicks. Foul call back over to Tucson. The corner kicks, we've already mentioned, ties a match high this season for Madison. In terms of shots, they are 3 away now from their match high, which was 20 against New England 2. Their shots on target high is 9, which was also against Clint Pierre's side over at Gillette Stadium. Here's Ston Smart stepping up. Cuts back over, Smart. The spin, Banks fires, but too much under that one. Another good opportunity by J.C. Banks. Let's take a look at the City of Tucson 2020 Census replay. Claim what is yours. Banks so far tonight, quite the night for the Milwaukee native. 3 shots, 2 on target, and 5 created chances. Able to step up in the midfield tonight in the lineup. Now Leonard. That's center back against Greenville due to Tobin and Trimmingham being unavailable. He's up in the midfield in that 6 role that we're used to seeing him in. Now Diaz, the right back. He finds Banks out wide. Banks lofts it in. Header down off the crossbar for Vucic. And cleared just in time by Beek. The woodwork having its say against the Polish striker. Now Godoy out wide. Ramon Hal. Back to Vergen as Tucson trying to find some breathing room here. Vucic frankly worked that ball really well, got the hop, but it was too high. Now Liotti, still Liotti, trying to split the double team, goes down in the box, no call. Beek clears this downfield. It looks like it will be a goal kick. Let's take a look at this chance by Vucic on the service from Banks, his 6th created chance. The header down and off the crossbar. Knight couldn't get there in time. And for Vucic, that's shot number 6 on the evening. Just 1 on target so far, though. Vucic last year, of course, spending time with Hartford Athletics, 7 goals, 4 assists. 28-year-old familiar with Darryl Shore from his time at Bradley in college. He was the 2013 Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year and has really bounced around. Finland, a couple years with Indy 11, a couple years with OKC Energy. And now over with Madison. Silva. Here's Hal. Allercone on the bench for FC Tucson today. 2 goals, 1 assist this season, 2nd on the team in created chances with 17 entering today. He's one option they may have in the second half. playing directly. Here's Tucson. Liotti plays it on, but easily cleared by Tobin. Liotti keeps the attack alive. Still Liotti. Great move by him. Cuts it back. Cohen. Ellie Belton, top of the box. Bender! Oh, what a goal! Josh Cohen! He finds the leading tally. It's 2-1 Tucson. Oh my goodness, what a strike. The 360 spin along with it, but Liotti putting in the work. And Cohen gets the benefit. His first goal for FC Tucson, and it's good enough for a 2-1 lead. That goal presented by Josh Cohen and Cicharo. The 22-year-old out of Indiana finds that leading tally for Tucson. Credit to Tucson, really had to bunker in against forward Madison for a majority of that first half, but came out strong to start the second half for the first 10 minutes. And that's their first goal this season in the first 30 minutes of the second half. Can they find more? Liotti out wide. Now Ellie Belton takes it to the left side. The Brazilian works the top of the box. Liotti, a nice flick. He goes down. It's cleared. Liotti wanting more than the referee was offering there. Now Silva, met by Diaz. It did go out, throw in Tucson. This duel is getting fun out west tonight. Hope those on the East Coast are staying up for this one. Over the top with the deflection. Cohen knocks it up. What's the call? Goal kick. Quickly played from the back by Madison to avoid any discussion there. There's Hal. Silva couldn't get to it. Don Smart is there to knock it out of play. Is this the stretch Tucson has been waiting for this season? 2 matches unbeaten last week with 4 points. Can they find the win tonight and make a late season run at a second spot in the League One final? Madison, of course, they're trying to do the same as Diaz fights through that contact. Advantage was played and Mexican right back goes down. Diaz starting in all matches this season for Madison. Now Knight will take the goal kick. And a talking to here, maybe to potentially make sure there is no time wasting in the head of the Tucson keeper, Amal Knight. Banks goes down after that contact with Godoy. Another Madison player down, make it a third, and then a fourth. But we play on as Tucson takes it the other way. Out of play. And back over to Tucson. Silva up the flank. Hal, a nice run here, but it meets the head of Tobin instead. Ovalle out to the left side. It was Paulo Jr. They got that tally on the board for Madison in the 40th minute. Now Ellie Belton. He's your goal scorer initially for Tucson. Now Leonard. Diaz. Congested at the top of the box for Madison, and not many opportunities inside the box for them, as Knight will take this goal kick. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. Of course, the League One final this year will be on Sirius XM radio. Liotti now, tried to chip it into the box. Cohen's there, and finally cleared by Tobin. Both these teams trying to make a run at the end of October, when that League One final will take place, following the final match day on October 24th. How to play at midfield. This will be back with FC Tucson. Heavy collision there as Giro met Liotti. The left back slow to get up. Now Cohen can't get to it. Liotti will help his teammate out. Throw in. We're hearing a substitution maybe getting set for forward Madison. Again, 5 substitutions for both sides. Only 3 opportunities, though, to pause the game to make those subs. Out of play. Looks like 2 players out there for forward Madison. It's Cox and Vang standing by, getting their instructions before they head onto the pitch. Tobin. Ellie Belton. And on loan from Cascavel over in Brazil. Lofted over by Cohen. It's well out of play. And over to forward Madison. Archetta from the back, the Austrian keeper, 27 years old. Start number 7. Foul is called. It goes to FC Tucson. It will be definitely a change in the midfield and a much more offensive approach for Daryl Shore, as we're hearing Ovalle and Banks will make way for Vang and Cox. Keep in mind, both these sides say they play on Saturday. The rotation and minutes certainly will be something to keep an eye on. Banks, a great shift put in by the veteran. 6 created chances, 3 shots, 2 on target for the number 10 of Madison. There's Michael Vang that comes on, 2 goals, 2 assists, 8 created chances. Uchi spurs on the attack the other way. Both those subs, of course, presented by Right Shore. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance. Jamel Cox comes on, the former Tucson man returning home to Keno North Stadium. Bringing Cox out to Tucson was Darren Sawatsky, coaching him at the Tacoma Stars and Sounders U23 before coming out into Arizona. Tucson getting set to make some subs of their own, we're hearing. Now Smart on the run. Getting on by Beek. Gets the deflection, out of play, and now officially we have the match high this season in corner kicks for Forward Madison. They have 10 tonight. Funny, we had 9 in the first half. The first and second half for them took 20 minutes into the second half. Here comes Vang, service in. Back post, Tobin on it, but heads it out of play. It's a goal kick to him all night. Here come those Tucson substitutions we just mentioned. And it will be Ferriol coming on along with Allercone, 2 offensive players. Out comes Josh Cohen for Tucson, the recent goal scorer, with a nominee certainly for goal of the week. Hal also coming off. Manu Ferriol in the number 14 kit, the former James Madison player. Native of Spain coming in along with his fellow Spaniard. It's Allercone making his first appearance off the bench this season. He has 10 starts before tonight. Second on the team in created chances. Someone that can slide into a wing spot or in the back line, and based on the sub, he will be on the wing. Both those substitutions presented by Right Shore. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance, as we have a yellow card for Eric Leonard. Bringing down Liotti, it looked like. Indeed it was. And a little tug down from behind by the midfielder of Madison. That yellow card presented by Vantage West Credit Union. Our first of the evening, and it goes over to Leonard, his second of 2020. Eric Bergen will pass this off, and we're back underway. 2-1 lead for Tucson if you're just joining us. Second half goal by Josh Cohen. Again, I'm Chris Makoviak, happy to have you with us as we finish off our Wednesday night in USL League One. 2 teams at 11 points in the table. A win by either side launches them up to 5th place in sole possession of 5th from the pack at 11 points. Well, Michael Vang, he wants a save for Madison off the bench. Vang puts it to the back post, a good stop initially, and cleared just in time before Smart could get to it. Great service in there by Vang. As we check out the City of Tucson Census 2020 replay, claim what is yours. A good stop by Calvo as he's brought down in the box. Knight will send this. Now Godoy fires from deep, blocked by Trimmingham. Ferriol now making his 3rd appearance for Tucson. Silva whips it in there, headed away by Tobin. Back with Silva. Over to Ellie Belton, running it around Vang. Gets it over enough to back to Silva, and the shot rolling right to Marchetta. Madison back the other way, smart. Combo play with Paulo Jr., puts it over. Vucic there, but once again, a center back for Tucson meets the ball before that. It's Logue with the clearance out of play. Another dangerous ball in, but unable to find their target. As Logue, nifty move, working it around the post. Corner kick number 11 tonight for forward Madison. It's Michael Vang on the ball. They're on the team and created chances with 8. Header, top netting. What an opportunity for Trimmingham, as again the center backs put a shot in. Taking a look here. Tobin and Trimmingham have been getting the chances, to say the least, on these corners. Unable to find the net there. Madison up, tying a game high this season now with 20 shots, 8 on target. 4 of those shots blocked, so they have 16 true shots in the game. Only 1 goal to show for it so far, though. Tucson, 2 goals on their 2 shots on target. They just have 5 shots overall. Madison eating up most of the possession. Now Smart pokes it forward. Paulo Jr. there. But so is a sliding call, though. Tobin stepping up. Cox. Service in, nothing there. Ellie Belton. Foul called, which way is it? Madison will get a free kick here, another opportunity for Vang. Giro right near him, though. They have that option for the cross from the corner. Vang puts it in there. Knight rises and gets it just over the head of Tobin. Cradling the ball. FC Tucson fans, make sure you check out the 3, 5, or 7 game flex packs for the next drive-in watch party. Saturday, September 26th is Youth Soccer Night, and October 10th is Pride Night. Please reach out to sales@fctucson.com or call 520-600-3095. Again, the home match with Fort Lauderdale CF coming up this Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time start, or 7:30 local time. Smart fires it, diving save in there by Knight. Maybe his biggest save of the evening coming here in the 74th. Tucson the other way quickly, though, with Allercone, and now Liadi. Now what do we have here with the foul? Let's take a look at that recent save for Knight in a moment. And it is a yellow card over to Liadi, his 4th of the season. That yellow card presented by Vantage West Credit Union. Yellow, a tribute to some physical battles tonight by the forward of Tucson. Trimmingham will take it. Knocked down by Silva, and Knight comes off his line, diving to grab it. Let's take a look at Knight and his save just a few moments before. Watch this diving stop on the shot by Smart. Surely something that could be up for save of the week honors. Getting fingertips to that one on the dive. Ferriol met by Paulo Jr. and it's a throw-in for Tucson. Another foul called as Liotti hits the floor. And we will have our hydration break here. 2-1 to Tucson. Ellie Belton and Cohen in the second half now, getting the leading goal. Madison trying to find their equalizer as they did in the first half from Paulo Jr. And again, Southern Arizona Heritage Night, at the drive-in watch party over at El Toro Flix Carpool Cinema. Tonight, last week, it was the watch party, the road watch party, as FC Tucson was in action over at Globe Life Park against North Texas SC, and a great showing at Maracana. As the Cactus Bricks and all the fans were in attendance, supporting FC Tucson to their draw, getting 8 points last Saturday against North Texas. And again, Pride Night and Fan Appreciation Night coming up as well in the final 2 matches of the season for FC Tucson back at home. Of course, the ball giveaway and youth soccer night headed your way. And you can check out more information at fctucson.com/tickets. Tucson, they've looked very good in the second half. That was one problem they had against North Texas. Urquell's side came out firing down a man in the second half, and they ended up giving up the goal. But this time around, taking it to Madison after Madison really enjoyed most of the possession in that first half. Tucson has been able to work some magic despite only having 6 shots, 2 on target. Entering the final 15 minutes of this match today, both these teams have scored plenty in the final 15 this season. Madison with 3 goals, 2 of them in the match against New England 2. And Tucson with 4 tallies, 2 of them though against Fort Lauderdale CF in that 9v11 battle to start off their season. Now Silva on the left. Tucson in search of their second home win of the season. Madison in search of their second road win. And it's Noah Fuson getting set to come on. Youngster at 20 years old, signing partway through the season, making his 5th appearance for Fuchik. So what this does add is a decent more amount of speed at the top for Madison. This substitution presented by Right Short. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance. Fuson out of LA is on trial with a couple USL Championship teams ahead of this year, Loudoun United and Sacramento Republic, before coming over to forward Madison. Here's Diaz down the right flank here in the 79th. Diaz works it in with the left boot. Falls to Smart. He falls, though, in the box, and it rolls back over tonight. Two subs getting set to come on for Tucson as well. Like switches out there in the midfield. Tobin caught by Liotti as he goes down. Whistle is blown. Remember, Liotti is on a yellow already. We'll see how the referee handles this one. He was slow to get to the whistle. Tobin going down in a heap there, trying to walk this one off, as we will have those two subs. Not sure if there's anything coming here for Liotti. And it is Raheem Somersault coming on for Ellie Belton, and Darius Lewis, the recent signee, coming on as well. Lewis will be making his third appearance. Somersault making his 8th of the season, and at just the right time as well, as Liotti is in danger of being sent off. Lewis comes on to add some pop at the top of the formation. Philadelphia Union Academy product. Recently playing in the Faroe Islands Premier League. Had one appearance in Europa League qualifying. Both the substitutions, of course, presented by Right Shore. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance. Ellie Belton, his day is done. A great showing by him. A goal in the 3rd minute. He continues his streak, 3 goals in as many matches. Not too shabby so far for Tucson. Without Shaq Adams and Charlie Dennis today, they of course have to close out this match. Think back to the 2-1 lead they had late over the Richmond Kickers, and unfortunately gave one up in stoppage time, following a brilliant defensive play by Calvo, heading a shot off the line. A couple things changing from that match. Of course, Amal Knight in the net for this one, as Fuson gets to that, and it goes out for a Tucson throw-in here in the 82nd. Allercone. Push off, foul is called against Ferriol. And the arms extended there. Back over with Madison. Here's Cox, the former Tucson man, running down the side. So will be cleared though as far as Godoy. Now Smart. Trapped by the center back Logue. Bergen helping out as well. This goes out of play for a throw-in. Madison trying to fight back. They concede first the season as they have tonight. 3 losses, yet to find a result from that in comeback fashion. Out of play, throwing the other way back to Tucson. Fans, make sure to follow FC Tucson, Forward Madison, and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. There's plenty of action coming up Saturday on ESPN+ here in USL League One. Forward Madison will be back in action at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time against Chattanooga back at Hart Park. FC Tucson, again, 7:30 p.m. start locally, 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast. And the matchup with Fort Lauderdale here at Keno North Stadium. 2 subs on for Daryl Shore as he'll momentarily bring on Lockerbie and Bennett, as you just saw. See what tactics maybe they bring on. Now Cox. Almost had a good look there to Michael Vang on a run. Instead, it's Lewis trying to spur the attack the other way. Cleared out of play by Tobin. These subs will come on. Again, Eli Lockaby, the wingback, and also Louis Bennett. So Giro comes off. That's a like-for-like switch, as Lockaby will come on as a fullback, former Richmond kicker. And Louis Bennett will come on. Bennett on loan from Memphis 901 FC last year. This year returning home to the state of Wisconsin to contribute once again for forward Madison. He's making appearance number 3 on the season. See what he adds to the central midfield. But Don Smart does come off. Some added firepower now on the bench for forward Madison. Those substitutions presented by Right Shore. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance. Now Cox to Bennett. Headed away by Calvo, striking it. A dangerous one by Tremingham, but right into the arms of Knight. 10th shot on target tonight for forward Madison. 23 shots total. Game high now in both categories this season. Offsides flag was up on Godoy there. It's back to Madison with 4 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at Keno North Stadium. Now Vang. Leonard scoops it in there, but Knight is right there at the end line. Bennett. Fuson working against Beak. No foul called, to the dismay of the Flamingos out there. And this one is called a foul against Tremingham back at midfield. Getting the stop, couldn't keep it in play. A throw in for Tucson, trying to burn off this game. We had the hydration break, of course, so should be a few minutes at least of stoppage time. Tremingham comes flying in there against Allercone. It goes down as well. Tremingham needs help. Let's take another look here at what exactly happened. Rushed in here to head the ball away and just came in over the top of Allercone. Tremingham had to miss the last match due to a training knock, and that's why he was out. And now again, maybe finding an injury late here in the 89th. Hopefully everything's all right with him. Tremingham tonight, 5 clearances, 1 interception, and a block as well. And a limp along with it. Not good to see, as Madison was finally able to get their center back pairing back out there tonight together between Tobin and Trimmingham. Lockerbie back to Marchetta, a long run by the Austrian, but he brings it in. It's a nervous one for anyone on the Madison sideline for sure. Daryl Shore spoiling our stoppage time. It's going to be 4 minutes in the next few seconds. Those 4 minutes of stoppage time presented by Right Shore. Madison trying to find some late magic on the road here in Arizona. Silva goes down against Cox, and we're headed the other way. This could be a big step for Tucson and John Gallis. They're able to close out this match. It's been a real trouble spot for them. See Silva going down on the City of Tucson 2020 Census replay. Claim what is yours. Knight will shove the troops forward as he'll send this off into the night. And if Tucson can win this one in the end, would move up to 5th place in the League One table, standing alone. But Cox and Madison trying to move this ball forward. Now Lewis, Godoy keeps it with Lewis. Lewis trying to get in the box, still running. Can't cut it back over as Tobin and Madison get back on it. And when Lewis was making that run, you heard someone shouting, corner, corner, trying to burn out the clock. Tried the offensive opportunity and now headed the other way, as it was briefly at that. Throw in to Tucson. Two minutes of stoppage time remaining, presented by Right Shore. Now Beak. Calvo. Allercone. Tugged back by Trimmingham. It's a free kick. Sub coming on as well shortly for FC Tucson. Seems we may have some yellow as well here to Trimmingham. As he is now in the book this season. His second overall in terms of yellows. Sub sounds like Charlie Booth on the sidelines. And he'll come on for Godoy, so very much a defensive substitution. Center back on for the forward as they try to close out the final minute or so here from Keno North Stadium. The substitution presented by Right Shore. There's no substitution for the Right Insurance. Fifth and final sub out there for John Gallis. Back to forward Madison. One last hope maybe here for the Mingos. Can they avoid their second straight road loss as they prepare for a homestand back at Hart Park? Out of play. It's a corner kick for Madison. Number 12 in today's match. It will be Vang to take it. Bennett also offering his foot. Bennett puts it in there, knocked away on the header and cleared by Lewis. As Knight fell in the box, the defense came up big. Ball floated in, headed on, grabbed by Knight. Marchetta receiving it from his opposite keeper. But not enough there. The whistle blows here in Tucson, and it's John Gallis and the Men in Black. They get the 3 points at home.
Final score, FC Tucson 2, forward Madison 1.
2 goals for Tucson, but that man there, Amal Knight, what a performance for him. Facing 10 shots on target from the Mingos. He made 9 saves on the day. He's your man of the match, presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. Claim what is yours. What a performance by the Jamaican international. Celebrating with his back line as we check out our save of the match for tonight's action from our man of the match. And here's Don Smart. Watch this dive here. This should be up for save of the week here in USL League One. As our save of the match presented by Vantage West Credit Union. One of the 9 he had to make today to keep Madison at 1 on the scoreline, and indeed they did that. 3 points to FC Tucson here at home, their second win of the season at Keno North Stadium. Well, coming up, we'll check out highlights and stats from our match here. 2-1 to Tucson.
United Way of Tucson in Southern Arizona has joined with community partners to launch the United for Southern Arizona COVID-19 Fund. The fund provides food, baby formula, diapers, health supplies, rental assistance, utilities, child care, and other critical services for those in need. With your support, our community can emerge stronger than ever. Please visit UnitedWayTucson.org and click on the donate link. Thank you for helping us live united.
Urgent Specialist is a one-of-a-kind urgent care. Should your visit need extra care, a board-certified specialist is a text, call, or video chat away with the ability to see you right in our facility as you wait, or as a direct admit to the hospital if necessary. With in-house x-rays, labs, and pharmacy, we are prepared to address your health care needs in a comprehensive and cost-effective manner. So next time you need urgent care, a checkup, or complete physical, remember Urgent Specialists.
Welcome back. Our final score presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. Claim what is yours. 2-1 to Tucson, their second home victory of the season. A reminder, head over to the Tucson app, give your vote for who deserves to be man of the match. Of course, we chose Knight. Could be someone else in your opinion. Cohen and Ellie Belton also deserving. Let's check out our full-time highlights here from Keno North Stadium. It was presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. We check it out in the 3rd minute, just like that. We got the scoring going. It was Ellie Belton, his 3rd in as many matches. And Tucson on the board looked great the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then Madison controlling the possession in that first half from there as the Brazilian struck first. Well, it would be Paulo Jr. that struck second. Watch this move by Trimmingham. What service from the center back. And it's the Brazilian forward that's on the end of it. Heads it in, 1-1, all equal as we head into halftime as Trimmingham gets the assist on the night. Jumping into the second half, it was Tucson that really got things going. And watch this turn. Josh Cohen firing it into the top corner. 360 spin and all. Getting that leading tally, his first as a man in black. And as we check out our stats, forward Madison, they set game highs this season in shots on target, corner kicks. It wasn't enough though. Tucson, all they needed were 6 shots, 2 on target, and they get the victory with 2 goals in their favor, 2-1 at home. For Madison, unfortunately, their second straight loss will be back to the drawing board as they head off back to Hart Park to face Chattanooga, 1 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. Tucson, of course, back at home. They will host Fort Lauderdale CF for 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. local time kickoff. Well, thank you for joining us for our action this evening from Keno North Stadium. We had the offensive battle we were hoping for. Up and down the field we went. It's FC Tucson that takes the victory. For our entire crew, I'm Chris McCovic. Thank you for joining us for our coverage tonight. Our final score presented by the City of Tucson 2020 Census. 2-1 Tucson. They get their second home victory of the season. They are 5th in the table here in League One. We'll see you for more action in League One coming up Saturday on ESPN+. Till then, have a great night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League